Yo, what's up guys? I'm gonna do a little vocal chain video here. So I'm just gonna show my vocal chain that I use on all my stuff. This is the newest one. I called it After Party. I like to name my things and save them. So I'm just gonna play some of the song first.
Yeah, all my money keep going up. I don't know who to trust, but
Yeah, so basically I'm just gonna show what like this main vocal is that I use and how I record it and stuff. So in Ableton, I'm just using this mic. I like to use tracking in Ableton. So I'll make a track called tracking that's dedicated to this. Basically you can reduce all the latency because you can listen to yourself on this track while you're recording. So put in when your mic's connected and then arm the track down here. That'll be your actual vocal track for recording. So that's what I like to do. Use this to hear myself through this track, but it's recording onto this track here and this one. And then I also have these filtered vocals, which just have a little less frequencies, some frequencies taken out, more reverb and stuff for like just different harmonies and background vocals. So for this main chain, first thing I have is just a compressor. And with the compressor, for a long time, I didn't really know how to use them. But honestly, the easiest tip I can give you is like, you want to use a compressor? Well, you do want to use a compressor. You need compressors for like almost everything. So when you get your compressor, I like to use the glue compressor sometimes too, but for vocals I usually use this one. Just the stock Ableton compressor.
all my money keep going up.
So as your vocal plays, look here.
All my money
See where
keep
the green
going
goes?
up.
That's where you want your threshold. I like to have it like a little bit below that green.
All my money keep
Wherever
going
kind
up.
of your input signals
But I always
averages,
earn my
just a little under
ones.
that. Then I like to put the ratio at about 8 for these vocals. And for all this stuff, like some people might say this is like terrible, but I don't know. This is what I use. It sounds good to me. So and then I put the attack all the way down. I don't know. I like to have that compressor hit right away. So it's just always compressing everything. And then my release is at around 700. And then once you do those settings, use your output control to get it to where you want. So
All my money keep
like, let's say
going
I want
up.
I mean, I'm going to leave it
But
because
I
it's
always
mixed
earn
for
my-
this, but you probably want it right around 0, and then you can just mix after that. And the next thing, just use Waves Tune for the auto tune. It's pretty easy. These are the controls. And then I always keep my speed and note transition all the way down if I'm doing this like Travis Scott robotic type auto tune, right? If you wanted more realistic, you can turn up your note transition a little bit, like to like 20 for 15 to 20 sounds good for like R&B stuff. Higher for maybe like some type of guitar alternative, whatever else you're doing. And then I like to keep this on corrected. I think it was off by default if anyone's using Waves Tune. So that's my Waves Tune settings. And I always keep my compressor before the Waves Tune because my mic's kind of quiet. So this compressor is doing a lot of work, and the Waves Tune seems to work better basically when it has a compressor before it. So the louder signal coming into it. And then I just have this EQ here, just cut out most of the lows, boost a little bit of these mid frequencies and some of the treble, and then I'm cutting off the super high treble. That's simple. Always, always focus on EQing. That's like one of the most important things for mixing and stuff. And then this, I just found in a YouTube video like a few weeks ago, so I'll actually link that video in the description if you guys want to check it out. I'm gonna give that guy credit. But this is a de-esser, just using the stock Ableton, what's it called? Multi-band dynamics. Yeah. So if you want to copy these settings, you can look at this. This is what I have. I've found that these frequencies work best. You might want to, if you are using this, use these frequency controls and get it where you want it. But you're basically trying to cut all the S's out of your vocals. And then, yeah, only leave this mid one on, which will be the actual S, which you're compressing. And then you just adjust the threshold. So let's say that you have a spot that you want it to really cut.
All my money keep going up.
Let's find one.
But I always,
Like this spot, for example.
I don't know who to trust.
You can hear there's a pretty heavy S there. So just adjust the threshold basically to where that sound that
I
you're
don't
trying
know
to
who
cut
to trust.
just pushes into that T and the S sound.
I don't know who to trust.
So yeah, once you have that, you can just kind of copy similar settings and then you have a de-esser. So next thing I'm using is just Ableton stock delay. Put it on the 4/4 setting. So I think that's quarter notes. And then I have the ping pong on. So if I turn this up, you can hear.
I don't know who to trust.
It's kind of like going side to side. I just keep the feedback at 18%. I don't want it too long. And then 10% for the dry wet. So it's just not like kind of subtle. Like
I don't know who to trust.
you can just kind of barely hear it. And then reverb, I'm using the convolution reverb. You can find this in these Max for Live Essentials in your packs. So you can just click download. Those are just free to download if you have Ableton. And I just keep it at 4% because I'm going to be processing everything as a group later on. So I don't want that to be like, the reverb will really come through if I have it too high. And then, yeah, you can pick different places on here. So I just picked this place. You can adjust all these settings if you want, but this is what I have. And then after that, I'll group all my vocals together. So both my normal vocals and my filtered ones, I'll group them. So just select them all, right click, group tracks, or Command G. And then once you have the group, first thing I have on there is just a multi-band dynamics. You can copy these if you want. Just kind of boosts all the frequencies a little bit, pulls everything together and processes it like in a similar way. And then I just have a similar EQ to the one that's on the individual tracks. Cut out all the low end, boost a little bit of the mid and treble, and then just cut out like those super high frequencies. And then for this glue compressor, I'm just using this to compress everything together so it's always at kind of a relatively similar volume to each other. Keep the makeup pretty low because my threshold's pretty high. It's already pretty loud. This is just flattening it a little bit. So you can copy these settings if you want and then just mostly adjust the threshold and the makeup, really. I found that this works pretty well for vocals. And yeah, I don't know. Some people might say don't compress this much, but I don't know. Like I find it works well in the mix, so. And then I just have this little saturator just, again, to like warm up the vocals a little bit. If you want anything that sounds more aggressive, you can kind of turn up the drive. Like you can hear it right here.
I don't know who to trust,
If I turned up the drive,
always win my walls. I stand tall like a trust. Whoa.
sounds kind of good. That sounds good, honestly.
I don't know who to trust, but I always win my walls. I stand tall like.
But yeah, I just keep it on whatever I had it, like 4.5, not too high. Again, you can use the dry, control like the dry wet, and then drive is the most stuff I would change about this, but yeah, you can do whatever you want. These are my settings. And on this one, I have a limiter. So I actually don't usually use this, but I guess, I don't know, it's something I used to use a lot, limiters, but I just found it like, it really flattens everything a lot. So if that's the sound you want, there might be like a stigma around like limiting your entire vocal group, but I liked it for this track. Let's hear it without it.
All my money keep going up. I don't know who to trust, but I always win my walls. I stand tall like a trust. Whoa.
And then with it.
All my money keep going up. I don't know who to trust, but I always win.
Yeah, it's honestly not too noticeable, so I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it the way I had it. I haven't worked on this track in a little while, but just using it for this video. But yeah, that's my vocal chain and kind of my vocal recording process. In case you guys are looking for like some new innovative vocal chains, probably not. But thank you guys for watching. And check out my other videos. I'm gonna be trying to do about a video a week. We'll see how that goes for a while. And yeah, like and subscribe if you feel like it.